Right now on APSU-TV, a teen accused in a standoff with police is on the run. What's Tennessee's decision on marijuana? And the very first image of a black hole. Plus local sports, weather, and more. APSU-TV News starts right now. Good afternoon, Clarksville, and thanks for joining us. It's Friday, April 12th. I'm Brandon Crosslin.
And I'm Meghann Stamps. Good afternoon and welcome.
We're following a developing story right now. A teen captured after a 4-hour standoff here in Clarksville last week is on the run. Clarksville police arrested Haleigh last week. The Rutherford County Sheriff's Office says Haleigh was being held at their juvenile detention center. Murfreesboro police say the 16-year-old stole a gray Toyota Tundra and may be armed. He may be headed back to Clarksville on Interstate 24. If you see him, give police a call.
Clarksville police are asking for your help to identify just who left one construction company with over $20,000 of damages. Morgan Construction Company was left with shattered equipment that will likely cause the company to pay higher premiums. Police suspect kids between the ages of 11 and 17 to be behind this vandalism. If you have any information about who committed this crime at Civitan Park, contact Clarksville Police.
It could be the key to preventing another backlog of unsolved rape cases in Kentucky. Lauren Smith explains the new technology that could identify a rape suspect in just hours.
It can take days, sometimes months, for crime lab technicians to process DNA from the scene of a sexual assault. And in that time, the case can grow cold.
Our delays, sometimes the victims step out of the system, out of the process.
But this could be the answer, the rapid DNA system.
We can have a DNA profile within 3 hours.
Kentucky is now experimenting with a system that could dramatically cut the time it takes to process DNA evidence from sexual assaults, from days to hours.
Our goal is to catch the rapist as early as possible, not just for expedience's sake, but to make sure that someone else isn't victimized.
The technology could prevent what happened in 2015, the state auditor uncovering a backlog of 3,000 untested rape kits, many found languishing in police evidence rooms.
We're trying to get our turnaround time down to get that victim some justice as quickly as possible.
Right now, the technology produced by the Colorado-based Andy company still experimental. The results must be confirmed by traditional methods.
Every other state in the union right now is looking at Kentucky to see how this goes.
As a survivor of a sexual assault, I want to thank all of you for doing this work.
It will cost $3 million a year to keep the program going after the pilot is over.
To the extent that this does what we have high belief in its ability to do, this will be a part of my next budget that will be presented next year.
When you check those travel advisories before you take a big trip out of the country, you'll notice some new information. State departments are now including risk of kidnapping to their travel advisories. This memo has been added days after the Ugandan gunman released the California woman who he was holding for ransom. State departments have issued this new, quote, K indicator that represents the potential of kidnapping for 35 different countries. Some of these include Afghanistan, Mexico, Venezuela, and Uganda.
Well, even if you're not traveling out of the country, you should still be aware of your surroundings. CNN reports crime rates in Memphis have continued to be on the rise.
It's concerning. We've had a very busy month. So month to date, we're at 5 compared to 1 this time last year. So it's on an upward tick.
An upward tick after Colonel Kurt Phillips says Saturday night there were 3 murders across the city in a 3-hour time period. That's one of the hurdles the department is facing, the sheer volume of calls their officers respond to.
Just yesterday alone, we had 21 ag assaults, 21 aggravated assaults in a 24-hour period.
As for what could be causing the problem, it's tough to say. He says there's more guns in the street, more guns being stolen out of vehicles. Sadly, a culture of violence that Phillips says needs to be addressed first in the home. try to address some of these issues, some communities are doing what they can to curb crime. In Whitehaven, the Watchful Eye Neighborhood Association makes it a priority to get to know their neighbors, encouraging others in areas to do the same.
And also, we've tried to reach out to our neighbors on the fringes of this neighborhood to educate them regarding safety and security. Everybody must work as a unit if we're going to do anything about this crime. We're aware that the police department cannot do it all. The security cameras cannot do it all.
While the father of a boy who has been missing for 8 years was told that his son had been found. Then he found out that the man claiming to be his son was not the missing boy. Julie Unruth talked to Timothy Pitson's father, who says he is not giving up hope despite this setback.
Yeah, I got my hopes up with this one. I get excited, then I'm like, calm down, you don't know who it is, and it's let them do their job, let them take care of it.
You've learned to be patient.
That's the only thing I can be is patient. I have 7.5 years of being patient.
And this time, patience did not prevail after police in Ohio determined this boy spotted in a Kentucky town claiming to be Timothy Pitson was actually a 23-year-old man claiming to be the kid from Aurora who vanished in 2011. Last Thursday, any hope of finding Timothy fell apart.
Well, I got a phone call at 2:30, quarter to 3, was the detective, and he goes, DNA came back, it's not Timothy. So everything, and then it was like, it was all stress, and then like some of the stress went away, and then got a little upset because I don't understand why somebody would want to say he's not who he is.
No legitimate leads in over 2 years, the incredible high followed by the crashing low. It hit Pitson as hard last week as it did almost 8 years ago.
A wound that's healed over, or started to heal over, and they ripped it right off.
As for the suspect, Brian Reaney, who law enforcement say trumped up the story, Pitson says he feels sorry for him.
You went around it the wrong way to try to get attention. I mean, if you're hurting, you seek help.
In order to put this horrible news behind him, Jim Pitson continues to turn his attention to finding his son Timothy. Describing the years of waiting as painful, he stays focused with work and tries to carry on. No wife, no other children. He lives alone in Iowa.
I lost my whole family. It's a day-to-day struggle. Some days you don't want to get out of bed, some days you do.
As Aurora police continue to follow leads, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children continues to pass out age-progressed images, and Jim Pitson looks forward to the day a police tip turns out to be more than just a tip.
He's alive. It's just a matter of time.
He's waiting for Tim, and a long overdue conversation, he says, between father and son.
Hello? What's taking so long? So, probably just give him a big hug and cry.
Shows that the world's glaciers are melting even faster than scientists first thought.
That's a shame.
Yeah, new evidence shows that the world's glaciers are losing almost 370 billion tons of snow and ice each year. And the World Glacier Monitoring Service says more than half of that number is lost in North America alone. This rate is 18% faster than international scientists calculated in 2013. And what you can do to help is finding little ways that you can stop global warming, such as buying energy-saving light bulbs or unplugging electrical items you aren't using. Every bit counts and nothing is too little. Speaking of warm, let's move over to Angela Peterson with today's weather. Angela?
Thanks, Brandon. Yes, it is warm, and we are reaching the point of the week where the warm weather, we had an abnormally warm week last week, but it seems like those temperatures are going to calm down throughout the week. Let's look at our current temperature, 65 degrees. The wind is at south at 8 miles per hour. For tonight's temperature, it's going to be a little chillier at 51 degrees. South at 8 miles per hour, but we are going to have a rain chance throughout the weekend. We're going to have some thunderstorms. Let's look at today's highs. In Clarksville, it's going to be 72 today. In Nashville, 73. Memphis, 71. Chattanooga, also 71. And in Knoxville, 76. Today's lows are going to be, for Clarksville, it's going to be 55, Nashville 56, Memphis 54, and Chattanooga it's going to be 59, and in Knoxville 58. Let's look at our 5-day forecast. For Saturday, like I said, we're going to have thunderstorms as well as Sunday. The high for Saturday is going to be 68 with a low of 60. On Sunday, it's going to be a high of 70 with a low of 40, which is a big jump in temperature. On Monday, we're going to have partly cloudy skies with a high of 64 and a low of 44. So we're still going to have some nice weather, even though it's going to be a little cooler than what we've been used to this past week. On Tuesday, it's going to be partly cloudy with a high of 76 and a low of 57. And on Wednesday, we're going to have thunderstorms again with a high of 74 and a low of 60. That's all for today's weather. Coming up, Political Corner and Sports. APSU-TV will be right back.
This week was National Distracted Driving. To celebrate, police asked a few people to board a decoy bus with them and point out distracted drivers.
Lane 1, 75 north, coming underneath the 153 bridge. Black Honda CRV, texting and driving.
We're here today because we want to bring attention to our drivers again that we're looking for distracted driving.
One of the ways they were getting drivers' attention today was by helping to spot distracted drivers from a car to bus, then radioing patrol officers to pull those drivers over and write them tickets. It was called Operation Incognito.
Brake reverse, lane number 1, passenger, no seatbelt.
Tennessee is number 1 in the nation for distracted drivers, partly because of the high number of traffic fatalities caused by them. The state had more than 3,100 distracted driver-related traffic fatalities in 2017.
For us as the Level 1 Trauma Center, motor vehicle accidents are the number 2 cause of trauma patients coming into us, and so certainly that is a huge area that we can improve on.
Lieutenant Danny Jones with the Chattanooga Police Department says they've already had 15 fatal traffic accidents this year.
White box truck right beside the bus?
Yeah, right now. It says Eagle Mechanical on the door.
Multiple agencies teamed up on Operation Incognito today, and there were plenty of violators to keep the THP, Hamilton County Sheriff, and CPD busy with the help of spotters from various other law enforcement agencies on the bus.
This is Distracted Driving Week throughout the United States, and so this week we're spending time working on our roadways to bring attention to our drivers about this type of behavior that we're trying to stop.
The Tennessee Highway Safety Office is additionally emphasizing the Move Over law, as this is also National Work Zone Awareness Week.
Tennessee lawmakers will not be taking any further action on medical marijuana legislation this year. According to the Associated Press, Republican Senator Steve Dickerson of Nashville says he will delay his bill until 2020. Dickerson's legislation would have allowed sprays, pills, ointments, and other non-smoking forms of marijuana for people with conditions ranging from cancer to multiple sclerosis. The bill also detailed a regulatory setup for growing, processing, and dispensing, and an identification card system for patients. Dickerson, a medical doctor, said he believes Tennessee will soon embrace medical cannabis. Now with Political Corner, let's head over to Sydney Hawkins. Sydney?
Thanks, Brandon. Early voting for the State Senate District 22 seat is currently underway. Austin Peay's Karina Lavoie and Lisa Ekman went out in the field to see how long it takes to vote early. District 22 covers Montgomery, Houston, and Stewart counties. The state Senate seat became vacant after Mark Green was elected to Tennessee's 7th congressional district in November. The candidates on the ballot include Democrat Juanita Charles, Republican Bill Powers, and Independents Doyle Clark and David Cutting. If you are registered to vote by March 24th, you're eligible to vote in this election. You don't need a special reason to vote early. You can vote when it's most convenient for you. Early voting is taking place at the Montgomery County Election Commission, just a couple of doors down from the public library on Pageant Lane. The election will take place on April 23rd. You can find your Election Day polling location on Go Vote Tennessee app. Hey, it looks like Karina's already done voting. Full House star Lori Loughlin is facing more charges in the college bribery scandal. The Associated Press reports Loughlin now faces laundering charges. The famous mom and dozens of other wealthy parents are accused of participating in a scheme that involved rigging college entrance exams and bribing coaches at top universities. The parents were arrested last month on a single charge of conspiracy to commit mail and wire fraud. The first openly gay presidential candidate is getting financial support from the LGBT community. The Associated Press reports Democrat Pete Buttigieg has raised over $7 million in just 2 months from grassroots supporters as he prepares for the 2020 presidential election. Buttigieg has been the mayor of South Bend, Indiana since 2012. President and CEO of Victory Fund, Anise Parker, said, quote, "He's not a gay candidate for president. He is a candidate for president, and part of his life experience that he brings is being an openly gay man," end quote. Austin Peay's Dr. Robert Barron published a chapter in a book titled Total Losers, Highly Overrated, Donald Trump, and Internet Trolling in Real Life. I got a chance to sit down and talk with him about internet trolling and how it affects Donald Trump's 2016 presidential win and how it will affect his 2020 presidential campaigning.
I was talking in class about trolls, and there's this reading that we do in the class that talks about how trolls are these kind of trickster figures, right? Their job is to kind of break the system of communication that we have, and that, you know, sometimes when that communication breaking happens, really good things happen because we come up with new ways to do things. So just like hackers break computer systems, that makes computer systems stronger. The argument the reading made was that, you know, trolls break kind of social systems, and that makes those social systems stronger. One of the things that I talk about in the chapter is that Donald Trump was so effective as a troll because his trolling garnered national media attention. So even if there wasn't national news that involved him, he almost always was able to turn the news towards him and his conversations and his topics and his attacks on other people. If you look at what he's done since his election in 2016, he's really kind of built this whole kind of Trump social media brand that really involves a kind of I don't want to say violent, but a very kind of personalized attack.
Thank you for tuning into this week's Political Corner. Now let's turn over to sports with Brice, Bement, and Claire Larose.
Thanks, Sydney. After a pretty disappointing weekend for the Austin Peay baseball team, they turned it around after beating the University of Evansville 10-2 on Tuesday at home. Starting pitcher Nolan Monahan took a no-hitter into the 5th inning with his second start of the season for the Govs. Now, right fielder Parker Phillips had a first-inning home run, making it his 10th this season and 41st in his career. The Govs will play this weekend at home against Morehead State. APSU has a doubleheader today at 2 and 5:30, and then turns around and plays Saturday at 1. The games are also available to watch on ESPN+.
There was a Battle of the Border doubleheader this past Tuesday afternoon for our Lady Govs softball team. The Governors managed to split Murray State, winning the first game 4-2, but losing the second game 2-4. Senior Danielle Lyerman was a standout as she drove in 3 of Austin Peay's 6 runs. The Govs are on the road today as they head to Southeast Missouri to play another doubleheader at 2 and 4 this afternoon. Good luck, ladies.
Now, the APSU women's tennis team is now 16-0 in their season after a 6-1 win over UT Martin. Lydia Yanis Garcia and Tatiana Lopez led for the Govs with doubles and singles wins. Lopez and Hanukkah Nakanishi gained their 11th straight double wins after beating the Skyhawks 7-5. The Govs are traveling to Illinois this weekend to face Eastern Illinois this afternoon at 2 before heading to SIUE to play at 11 on Saturday morning.
Well, the men's tennis team faced Tennessee Tech this past Sunday, one of the top teams in OVC play. The Golden Eagles started out strong, but the Govs just couldn't keep up. Tennessee Tech won number 3 doubles 6-0 and number 1 doubles 6-3. The Govs battled during singles, but unfortunately, the Golden Eagles took the match with a straight set win. The men's tennis team is just finishing up a match right now as they played this morning against Eastern Illinois.
I hope we find out what they did. Now, the Austin Peay men's golf finished 5th in the Ryman Hotels Intercollegiate. Chase Cordy and Austin Lancaster made their way into the top 20, tying for 19th at 146 each. Cordy had an eagle on the 507-yard par 5, being just one of 12 eagles over 2 rounds by an entire 87-player field. The Govs have wrapped up regular season play and will be now headed to the OVC Championship in Florence, Alabama on April 21st through the 23rd.
The women's golf team just finished up their regular season at the Jan Weaver Invitational this past Friday and Saturday. Our very own Meghann Stantz was a key consistent player throughout the tournament. On Friday, she shot 76s for 152, which put her in a 5-way tie for 21st place. On Saturday, Stantz managed to finish up with a team-high 6 birdies, a 4.13 stroke average on par 4 holes, and a team-high 34 pars. The Govs look to finish with a bang at the OVC Women's Golf Championship starting next week.
Now that's all we have for sports. When we come back, the APSU student newspaper earns national rewards, open days for trails, and the Clarksville Open Market. APSU-TV News will be right back.
Welcome back to APSU-TV News. Scientists have once again shown us how small we really are. The first picture ever captured of a black hole was revealed this past Wednesday, and the Associated Press reports it was assembled from 8 different radio telescopes from across our planet. Piecing all of these images together revealed a supermassive black hole, an object that was first theorized by physicist Albert Einstein over 100 years ago. Shepard Doleman from Harvard, the team leader of nearly 200 other scientists around the globe, said simply, quote, "We have seen what we thought was unseeable." The black hole pictured is about 6 billion times the mass of our sun and is bigger than our solar system.
Do fresh foods and handcrafted goods appeal to you? Downtown Clarksville might be the spot for you. Starting Saturday, May 25th, you can go to the Clarksville Downtown Market. The market features local farmers and artisans and is now open for local customers and businesses to connect and interact. You can also enjoy music and meet the market mascot, Corny the Cob, and other activities on select days. The market will be open from 8 in the morning until 1 in the afternoon at the public square in downtown. Visit thecityofclarksville.com for more details.
Austin Peay's newspaper, The All-State, won 2 National Apple Awards at the Spring National College Media Convention, which was held in New York City in March. According to a press release, both awards honored a special edition called Rebuild Reflect. This edition commemorated the 20-year anniversary of the tornado that hit APSU and downtown Clarksville. The All-State earned 2nd place for Best Magazine Spread and 3rd place for Best News Delivery. Coordinator of Student Publications and Marketing, Patrick Armstrong, said, "I think this shows our students are continually competing on a national level and earn awards alongside reputable journalism programs."
With the beautiful spring weather in the air, Clarksville's opening day for the Trails event is just the outdoors activity for you. Start the sunny season off right with walks down on the Cumberland Riverwalk, Upland Trail, or the Clarksville Greenway. So come with friends and family and experience the nature right outside your door. Join the 7th annual event Saturday, April 13th.
If you're looking for something to do tonight, Austin Peay's trumpet professor Robert Waugh will be hosting the faculty trumpet recital right here in the Sharon Mabry Concert Hall from 5 to 6:30 this evening. This concert celebrating the iconic high brass instrument will lead into the annual Trumpet Day with the Austin Peay Music Department on Saturday, April 13th. And if you're a student, your admission to the recital today is free.
Clarksville Police Department wants you to attend their next Cut with the Chief event. The police invite you to sit together and bond over haircuts in a comfortable environment. Come, take this opportunity to chat with your chief and other police officers on Saturday, April 13th, from 10 to 11:30 in the morning. The Ringgold Plaza Barbershop on Fort Campbell Boulevard is sponsoring this event. So come on, meet with your chief and bond with your police officers over a fresh new do.
Parked far, far away from your class? Well, you could walk the whole way, or you could use the Peay pickup. It's a free ride around campus for APSU students, faculty, and staff. You can ride the trolley from 7:30 in the morning until 4:30 in the afternoon, Monday through Friday. For more information, go to apsu.edu/SGA. A campus and community reminder from the Voice of Austin Peay, Clarksville's 91.9 FM.
You can help support Austin Peay students who don't have enough to eat by donating to the Save Our Students Food Pantry. The Save Our Students Food Pantry is looking for soup, pasta, canned meat, canned beans, peanut butter, and fruit. You can drop off your donations at the food pantry on Home Avenue. It's open Tuesdays through Friday, 8:30 until 4. For more information, call 221-1620, a campus reminder from Austin Peay.
With all good things, they must come to an end, as this is the last newscast of the semester and Brandon and I's last newscast before graduation.
Oh,
guys! And it feels like you see all these other people leave over the years, and now it's finally our turn.
I know, it's really weird to think. Like, I can't. Like, I feel like I'm gonna still watch you guys' newscasts and see how everyone's doing.
Please do. I hope we do.
Well, I'm super proud of you guys, and I wish you nothing but the best in your journeys as you graduate. Oh God,
and obviously I have to see how you guys do and see how what happens after you guys after graduation too.
Yes. We have to all keep in touch.
Yeah.
Call each other to see what news stations we're at.
Yeah. Maybe we'll end up at the same one.
You guys are gonna go far.
I just want to say thank you, APSU Department of Communication, for letting me hop on the desk for 4 years ago. It's been a crazy ride, and I'm so grateful for everything that you've done. Best of luck to Karina and Marissa moving forward with the newscast. You guys will continue to be great. And thank you, Karen Bullis, for your 110% tireless work ethic you put into your job. You do so much more than you get paid for, and it's amazing. And the true care you have for each and every student you teach. Thank you so much. Also to Mike Dunn, my awesome advisor, who is the GOAT.
Oh, yes.
Yes. And to my first producer, Amber Kent, who's up in Johnson City doing an amazing job. Love you guys. Taylor Moore, also second producer, also awesome. He's here today. Amy Ritchart, for having enough faith in a young sophomore to cover all of election night 2016 for like 2 hours from the desk with Mason Devers, who was a political genius and I wasn't. And so many others for seeing potential in me that I didn't even see in myself at most points. I have a great feeling about my future endeavors in my professional career, and I owe a ton of that confidence to the experiences and knowledge that you all in this department have provided me. So thank you, and let's go Peay forever. Well, that's all the time we have for today.
Thanks for watching another edition of your Govs Weekend Update.
Have a great weekend.
See you next semester.
And as always,
let's go Peay!